Hey guys, it's Ben again from Card Goblin, and today we are reviewing our lovely store owner Richard's beautiful Viktor deck. Now, the emphasis on Viktor is it's very much token spam. Try to flood the board ASAP. It plays like squirrels in Magic, but it's just very flood, very hold your battlefields, and it's just a bunch of good stuff. And the way I've played against him when he's played this deck is a lot like Kaiser. It literally feels like I'm sat across from the mirror match when I'm played against him because of the way he's built this deck. So we'll dive right into it. So obviously you've got your Legend Viktor with the beautiful overnumbered Viktor. Tap 1, play a 1 might recruit. And then we have the 1 of being the Viktor leader. Now, when another non-recruit unit you control dies, you can play 1 recruit. As we all know it by now, the game's been out for a while. And then he's opted for 2 machine evangel. Now, when it dies, you play 3 1 might units, then 3 of the 2 cost porring. It's the yellow porr which has the assault of +1 when he's the attacker. So he's very good to play on the back foot, as well as just a normal unit. And then we have 3 of the Faithful Manufacturer. Now, Manufacturer basically reads when you play her, you can play one might unit, one might recruit token here, so wherever she is. And then to pair with her, we have 2 Vanguard Captain, just because she is a bit of a weaker card because you have to play her with Legion, which isn't actually a weak effect. It's just more the case of pairing these 2 together is kind of like what you want to be doing optimally. And then we have 2 of the Soaring Scout just for mana ramp, 2 Spectral Matron. Now, when you play this card, you may play a unit costing no more than 3 and no more than 1 return costs from your trash, ignore its cost. So it's a nice revive for any of these 2. So basically it helps you loop your token spam. That's it for our yellow units, sorry. And then for our blue units, we have as follows. And he's playing a very small blue package in this, only for the blue units being 2 of our Thousand-Tailed Watcher. We all know what it does by now. When it's played, all your opponent's units get -3, minimum to 1. And then it has the acceleration as well to help take over battlefield ASAP. Then with a bit more token spam, we have 2 Sprite Mother, one of the best blue cards, which is 4 cost in the game at the moment. Basically, again, an accelerated 3 Might Sprite token. And then his last blue unit is 3 Blast Cone Thay. So when you play me, you can give a unit -2 to a minimum of 1, and it's a hidden. So basically, it's a nice little combat trick you've got, as well as on top of it helps you get over bigger things like against when you're playing against Yi or Volibear, anything that's basically in Dazzling Aurora deck. And then for his spell lineup, it's very, very hefty. So we have for our yellow spells, 3 copies of Vengeance, just outright kill a unit, which is good into any form of Aurora deck. 3 copies of Hidden Blade, once again, outright kill a unit at Battleground, and then the controller gets to draw 2, so you kind of want to use it on your tokens if you're on like a bit of a defending tactic, or on one of your units which reads, where is it? So you kind of want to be using it on your machine Evangel, or you're wanting to use it on the bigger units if you're playing into Aurora, and then 2 copies of Grand Stratagem, wonderful with your token strategy. And then we have 3 Call the Weak once again. One of the most broken cards right now being a 2 cost return 1. Each player just kills a unit. Look, I have no units, your guy dies. It's absolutely insane. This is why I say it feels like I'm playing against Kaiser when I've been testing against Rich, just because the amount of kill spells and the amount of good ramp cards that he has in his list. Now we have, for the blue spells, 1 copy of Fallen Comet. Just deal 6 damage to a unit at the Battleground. It's a decent card. Because blue realistically doesn't have much removal spells. It has more reduction spells. Yellow is kind of just like outright kill. So once again, you kind of just take what you can get with the colors you're locked into. And then we have 2 copies of Singularity. Once again, deal 6 to up to 2 units. Now this doesn't have to even be at battlefield. It could be in the base, putting your opponent on the back foot once they've played a single card. And then we have 2 copies of Smokescreen to round off our spells. Reduce a unit by 4, minimum to 1. And then to round off the main deck, we have 3 copies of Seal of Unity, because the majority of your cards in the deck are yellow, and they do have that nasty recycle cost of 1 ruin, so why not just play the Unity to get around it. And then for the Battlegrounds, he plays 1 Grand Plaza. Obviously, you just have hold here with 7 units, you win the game. And then 1, the Arena's Greatest. Each player starts with a point to help you get that ramp, because you can kind of out-ramp or out-tempo most decks in the format. And then 1 copy of Terrifian War Camp. So basically everyone just gains +1 here. So it's kind of nice into the Kaiser deck with all your tokens, because it does make their turns a bit awkward. Then for the runes, we have, I think it is 7 Order runes. And then you've got your 5 Mind runes to round off the entire deck list. I think side deck wise, he hasn't got a side deck built yet. So let me just quickly have a look. Yeah, I don't think he hasn't got a side deck built yet, obviously because he hasn't been able to be taken part in many tournaments. So realistically with this deck, I think to what I have played against at the one locals we've done, and just having a look at how China built to the majority of their Victor decks, this by far interests me a lot more than the Chinese lists as well as other lists I've seen at our local store, just because it has that just constant kill threat spells. Like he's maxed out on all the kill threat spells that you can. Which basically means it feels like ISO. Like, why wouldn't you want to build your Victor deck to play like one of the best decks of the format? But that is basically what we've got here, guys. If you guys are wanting to look for any form of Riftbound singles, once again, please visit cardgoblin.shop. If you have enjoyed the content thus far, leave a like, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers, bye-bye!